to make a spot for Sarah to get out here. She's having trouble. So I don't know if she's in a pickle here or not, but what we're doing is we're just making a spot for her to go. You can go that way. You can go that way. Go down farther. Yeah, it's muddy right there. Muddy down in front of her. She's got just shy of, no. Well, I don't know. You can go down farther. There's another spot down farther. She might be able to get up through there. Got just a little over 500 bushel on there. I don't know if she made it or not. Well, looks like she crawled up through there okay. Now, I've got to unload the rest that I have onto Alex here. I really don't want to run around too much with this auger full. I've still got part of a tank on here. So we've been having to use two, well, grain buggies. This is a dump cart. And a grain buggy as well, because we're just that far off the road and they can't keep up with one unit. And no, it would not make any sense to have any bigger of a grain buggy, because the more you have on the grain buggy, the longer it's going to take you to unload, and then it's going to take longer to get back to the combine. The only thing a larger grain buggy would gain you is, instead of waiting every time, a couple of times per truckload, you'd only have to be waiting with the combine once per truckload. Because you'd be able to get 2 or 3 combine loads, or 4 maybe, onto a grain buggy load. Then you'd have to wait that every 4th time or so with the combine. We hold about 200 and, I don't know, 40, 250 bushel, roughly. We've got the bin extensions. And then with the tarp on there, that allows us to put a little more on as well before it starts spilling. So as you can see, the white dust there in the corn. This corn is a little high in moisture, running right around 36%. We put a grain tank from the combine, just 1 to maybe 1.5 on that dump wagon. Well, this is pretty muddy in here. Alex, or Sarah's stuck, and Alex is going to try to get the grain buggy, or the dump wagon that is, underneath the auger of the grain buggy, see if we can't offload it, get it empty, lighten it up, so that she can just drive out. We might have to hook onto her, we're not sure yet. But we're trying to keep everything moving here at the same time. So that's what that situation there looks like. The 7290 is absolutely worthless. In the mud, we kind of seen that when it was on the dump wagon while we were trying to chop corn, and it is rather frustrating. Well, we've got the combine is full, and Alex kept sliding away from the position that she was supposed to be in. to get underneath the grain buggy spout. So I'm gonna head down here and see if I can't maybe assist these guys so we can get this off, get it empty. Hopefully it'll drive out. But you can see it's muddy here. Alright, this is what we've got going on here. Keep coming. Alright, shoot right that way. Shoot right that way. Keep going, you're all right. Yep. Go. Man, this frickin' wagon just keeps sliding. All right, she is empty. We'll see if these guys can't get away from each other. It's starting to get some sleet here now. All right, there goes Alex. She's able to get back moving again, and now, all right, come on. Get her auger folded down. Mudding. I had a comment a while ago on one of the videos. Why would you guys plant a crop there? Well, we've gotten a half a foot of rain here in the last week, 10 days. And this ground's a little on the wet side to begin with, but if you have too wet, if your ground is too wet, you're not gonna grow a crop. We got crop growing here. We're gonna have to be careful where we load that grain buggy. Down on this end, it's pretty solid down here. We'll wait for Alex to get out and around us, and then we'll, oh, there goes Alex up through. All right, I'm loaded. Let me zip across the end. You get underneath me, we'll unload, and then take this out. Are you having fun?
Lots of it.
Yeah. All right. I've got to get out of her way so that she can get underneath this auger because I am loaded. Alright folks, so I've just got a little bit of a disclaimer here before we go any farther with this video. What you have to keep in mind is I have a bunch of professional grain buggy operators that watch these videos and they critique each and everything we do here, and a bunch of comments have just poured in from the last couple of clips that you've seen here in this video. The one comment that we need to address here is, why was Sarah in the position she was in? Doesn't she know any better than that? Well, number one, that field is 8 acres. The that was the first grain buggy load she got out of that field. I wasn't quite twice around the field. When I went around the field, it felt pretty good. She was trailing in behind me. She knew what was wet up in front of her. Prior to her getting stuck, I loaded the grain buggy. She said, it's too wet up in front of me. I can't go any farther. So what I did is I cut a diagonal right across the field so that she bypassed the wet spot that was up in front of her. But that whole south side of the field was real wet. The next spot that she went into wasn't really any better than the spot that I was able to get her away from. She had no other place to go. There was no corn combine to the right of her. What you seen combine was what I was shelling off or combining while they were trying to get the grain buggy position. I had to cut a path down through the center of the field coming towards Sarah so that Alex could make a run for it and get her low side underneath the grain buggy auger. So that spot where I walked down through the field, I made 2 passes there. I combined enough out of that field to put another bin onto myself. So I was loaded. So that should address some of the comments that have come pouring in thus far. And I'm suspecting right now there's comments that are getting retracted. So I just thought I would address that. So we'll go into the rest of the video here, and I just wanted to bring that up to you. And yeah, so the field I'm in now is on the same farm, but we're on the other side of the road that is well past dark here. And we're just going to keep moving along here. So enjoy the rest of the video. I thought I would just address some of the comments that come pouring in. So sorry for the interruption. Alright, so Sarah's going to pull underneath the auger. We'll get the combine unloaded. Alex is headed out to the truck. She'll dump her load, and then Sarah's gonna go ahead and take this one out. So it's starting to spit a little bit of snow here. It's kind of a sleet mixture of sleet and snow, actually. So hopefully this is short-lived, because I want to get this field out of here. I've got another little one over in there. And then we'll have this area done. I ended up grabbing that mirror right there on a tree branch. Broke it. That's on the floor here. I've got to get another one back on there. Now, if you call this sleet or hail, it's coming down pretty good. I guess this is hail. So we're just about empty. Our first bin load that we dumped for today, I ended up breaking the spring that returns the mechanism that drives the grain unload. There's a hydraulic cylinder that drops the whole mechanism down against the drive belts, and that's what runs the grain unload. The spring broke and it wouldn't allow the mechanism to return. So I'll go right around right here. It wouldn't allow the mechanism to return completely, and the weight of the drive assembly was resting on the belts, and the bin wanted to unload. So that's why I kind of need to get the mirror back on there, because I need to be able to watch that auger to make sure we're not unloading. I got paranoid there for a second. There's corn spilling out of the end of the auger. There's a metal flap that's spring-loaded. That comes up against the end of it so that the last little bit that you have in the auger doesn't spill out. That panel must be slightly sprung or something, because it's wanting to drip a little bit of corn there, and my grain tank full buzzer wants to keep beeping at me. There must be enough corn up on top of the hopper extension to keep that little plastic flopper up in the air. So I better get my auger swung back, keep it out of the trees, and without that mirror on there, it really doesn't give me the ability to keep an eye on the left-hand side of the combine. I've got a nice view down the right-hand side of the combine, and I can make sure there's no objects behind me so I don't back into anything. So we're gonna go ahead and keep at it here. This is where I unloaded on the Sarah right here. She couldn't get around this corner, so I ended up going across the field. And then that's where she got in the pickle over there in that corner there. So it was good that we didn't have to hook onto the tractor, because that's always a mess. So we'll keep at it here, folks. We'll come back at you in a little while. I'll show you what that spring mechanism looks like that we had to fix here earlier, and we're just going to keep at it here. So this is where Sarah got stuck right here, and we're going to try to get through it, get what corn we can picked here. Got to make sure we don't pull in any mud. I ended up sucking some mud in there one time a couple years ago, and ended up getting a couple of rocks that ended up making it past the stone trap, got caught in the beater. They were lodged in there, and it was kind of a mess. So we're over into this other field here now. This is just a couple of acres. The field that Sarah got stuck in is just on the other side of that hedgerow. And as you can see, we've got a new mirror back on our left-hand side. That mirror is just a little different than the one here on our right-hand side. The corners on the new one are rounded a little bit more than the mirror that's on our right-hand side there. So it's nice to get that mirror back on there. I was worried about backing into a dump wagon or a grain buggy or something. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.